What is up? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to have you today. We're gonna have some fun today if you guys are down with that. So we're gonna jump right in here. We're not gonna mess around too much. We've got a full presentation for you here. We will have some intensity for you today on the advertising stuff, but also I'm intentionally wanting to keep some things very, very simple and as much as it's concept level as possible. So again, this is the advertising workshop. Thank you guys for jumping into this smart move, smart decision. Today, we do not have anything to sell you except for an idea of what you can do in your own life, in your own business. Okay. If you guys, I imagine most of you know pretty in depth about traffic and funnels. But if you don't, Taylor and I, my business partner, we have grown very rapidly in the last 3 years. And all of it has been on the back of paid advertising. And this quote changed my life. If you guys can see this, let's make sure that you guys can actually hear us. It's probably we need to start with. Can you hear us and see the screen? Just let us know.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
So, and also I just want to introduce Ashton, my man, my main man here, who's going to be doing a lot of the driving today for us. But a quote that changed my life several years ago was this: if you can spend $1 on an ad and make $2 back, you'll never have to worry about money again. When I heard that, it changed everything. I put all of my effort and energy in trying to figure out how to do that. And years later, we're at the place where we have a business that we will do, we'll minimum hit $10 million in revenue this year, probably closer to 12, 14 with one of our other businesses on the back of paid advertising. So I want to encourage you to just tune out all the noise and really focus in here, because there are going to be some things that you might not initially grasp, but you will get this in the members areas. You can go back and rewatch it. I'm going to give you some case studies today and talk about the very end. Well, before I just let the cat out of the bag, I'll let Ashton kind of give the overview. You ready to rock, dude?
Oh, dude, I'm so ready. I've had 2 cups of coffee, woke up, got on my Peloton bike. I'm ready to go.
Wow. Living a good life.
Ready to go, man. I am living in the good life. Guys, it's going to be a great day today. Have a lot planned for you. Just going to kind of give you a brief overview of where we're going. And really the heart behind this is just to absolutely demolish everyone else as far as value given for you guys. And doing that, by the end of the day, my goal is to give you a credible foundation to set up and launch an advertising campaign. And specifically today, we're going to be really talking about more Facebook. That's really kind of our hero here at Traffic and Funnels right now. However, a lot of this stuff is going to carry with you everywhere in marketing. So today we're going to be talking about, I'm going to start off by talking about what we call echo targeting. And it's basically how to pinpoint your most profitable prospects. Where is your market? How do you research on Facebook? How do you use Google? How do you use other tools that we use to research your best market? Next, we're going to be talking about ad copy mastery, which is basically how do you take the research that you've done and how do you apply that and create a formula or an ad that attracts that market? And really, I think the combination of echo targeting and ad copy mastery is what separates the top 1% of advertisers. And what I mean by that is those who really know their market, know the pains, know exactly what their market's thinking, what their prospects are thinking, and then they take that ability and understanding and transfer it into copy or an ad that converts people and gets attention. That's what separates it. A lot of people try to confuse things and think that it's all about What's my budget on at Facebook advertising? Do I do manual bidding? Do I do auto bidding? What's my campaign structure? But really, at the end of the day, it comes down to how well you know your market and how well can you take that understanding of your market and convert it into something that attracts attention. However, just because we're amazing, we're going to also give you templates that we use to set up and launch campaigns, as well as retargeting, something we call pseudo retargeting, to total market saturation on your prospects that are showing interest. And then Chris is going to break open the casket of a strategy that we've been using for a long time called hyper organic. And we teach our private clients that join Client Kit how to use this strategy to really scale to 20K per month without a webinar. It sounds a little crazy, but we're going to dive into it and you guys are going to get it. And I'm super, super pumped to do it.
Oh yeah. It's interesting. A lot of people, we've talked about webinars. Webinars are great. We still use webinars in different strategies, if you will, for lead generation. The hyper organic thing is really fascinating because one thing that I've discovered as we've worked with hundreds and hundreds of clients very closely and then thousands broadly is there's such a big gap in their minds to them actually getting success and getting to their revenue goal. And if you're able to collapse the gap, if you will, then the potential becomes, it's more likely for it to become reality. And that's our goal today for you guys. Right? Our goal for you is to collapse that gap so you can actually catapult into your revenue. And with the hyper organic thing, what I notice is so many people are challenged with, man, the funnels are so complex or the webinars are so complex. Like, it's so monumental. So the goal of what we want to do today is give you some things that are a little bit more like higher level, but then also things that you're actually going to take action on. Right? Mm-hmm. And if you actually take action, that is the big piece of this.
Yep.
Right. And a big theme that you're probably going to see here and that I want you to write down. This is really, really important. To be successful in advertising, you need a great feedback loop.
Mm-hmm.
You need a great feedback loop because a lot of people have the wrong expectations in advertising.
Yep.
And we say this pretty often to our clients. Like, listen, you like get freaked out because one ad doesn't work. Trust me, I've had so many ads that haven't worked.
Yeah.
But when you expect that and you understand that, you want to get as much feedback as you can, as quick as you can, for as cheap as you can.
Yeah.
As much feedback as you can, as quick as you can, for as cheap as you can. And that's part of the process that we're talking about today. Cool? Yep. All right,
Huge.
let's go.
Awesome. Oh, and someone asked an important question was that really Chris? Why is his voice so different? I am not Chris. My name is Ashton. I help run media buying here at Traffic and Funnels. So that's why the voice sounds different.
Ashton is my other son. Taylor is my first son.
Yeah.
They're brothers.
All right. So we're diving in. As Chris said, you're going to face failure with your ads. It's inevitable. You'll have advertising that fails. However, what I'm going to dive into is how to greatly reduce the amount of times you fail. If you can research properly in the front end, most likely, if you understand your market correctly, the amount of times you'll have a failure will be drastically reduced. So we call that echo targeting. So echo targeting, why do we call it that? It's basically the definition of echo is a sound and what I'm calling desire, or a series of sounds caused by the reflection, what I'm calling expressed desire, of sound waves from the surface or your market back to the listener or you as the marketer.
Hey, dude, let me stop you real quick.
Yeah.
I didn't do a good job explaining who you were and your part. Probably important.
You're good, bro.
So, smartest guys in marketing, we're really good at that. So guys, Ashton is my senior media buyer. He is in the depths, in the trenches, day in, day out, driving our leads. And he's probably one of the best guys I've seen in this business. His creative ability and his strategy is awesome. And so it would make no sense for me just to drive this car by myself without having him here to give his experiences real time, from the trenches, from the field, for you guys. So I feel like I didn't do a good job of that.
No worries, man.
That up.
No worries. All righty, guys. You guys ready to dive into echo targeting? Go ahead and just let me know. I'm pumped to do it. Let's go ahead and start. So starting with echo targeting, it's extremely important to understand your market. And what better way to understand your market by perving on them? I'm not kidding. Actually, what I do whenever I am looking to create a new offer, I'm going after a new market, what I want to do is I want to find my top customers or my most ideal client or avatar, as we'd call it. And I want to go find them and learn as much as I can about them. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to share my screen, and I'm going to actually show you my process for this. So step one, I'm actually getting page likes. So let me know if you guys still see my screen.
Yep.
You guys see Facebook right now?
Yep.
Beautiful. So I'm on a Facebook page, and I'm going to use myself as a guinea pig, and we're going to try to understand everything there is to know about me. So I'm going through and I'm looking for my prospects. I'm actually going to their page. Of course, I am going to read their timeline. I'm just going to see what interests them. What are they talking about? What kind of personality do I see? And as you can see, it's going down. If I was looking for me as an ideal prospect, I see Eugene Schwartz posted right here. That's a very sophisticated author, so I'm going to take note of that. I'm going to write it down on a doc. I'm actually opening up a doc, and I'm putting everything I can see about them. So I see his job. He's in marketing. He's former digital marketing manager here. So he's been in marketing for a while. I'm looking at his pictures. Okay, so it looks like he's married. He has a wife. Looks like he's drives a Dodge Charger. Looks like he has case studies. So it looks like he's helping other people out with advertising. Looks like he lives in Seattle. So what does that tell me about him? So I'm going through as much as I can. I'm looking inside of all the pictures. I want to see, what kind of house does he have? Is his house clean or dirty? Does he buy little trinkets often? Does he buy expensive stuff? Does he have expensive clothes on? What can I see inside of his pictures? Does he have dogs? Is he at any social events? Does he go to church? Whatever it is, I'm trying to find it, write it down. And another great way to do that is going to his likes section on their page. So I can just click likes, and you can literally go in and see what they've liked. And oftentimes it's shown by recency. So it's shown by what they've recently liked on their page. So you're not looking at what they've liked 5 years ago when they were in high school or before they were married. You're looking at recent likes, and I'm just scrolling to see anything I can see. So I see Todd Brown. I see Money Morning. I see Financial Copywriting Academy. I see the Agora companies, Digital Marketer. These are all higher level advertisements, which is telling me more about his sophistication. He's not just looking for, Gary Vee. That is not a key indicator that I'm really looking for. Everyone and their sister likes Gary Vaynerchuk. So I'm keeping note of that, but I'm not taking it as I'm going to just go target Gary Vee. I'm looking for as much specifics as I can. So I'm going through, I see Russell Brunson, I see Ryan. I'm keep going through, I see CF Pro Tools. So, okay, he liked Russell Brunson and CF Pro Tools. So he's definitely into ClickFunnels. I see Purple Knowledge Lab, which is an advanced advertisers course and mastermind. So I'm taking note of everything I can when I'm going to his profile and seeing the pages that he liked. So going back to spreadsheet, you had the first situation, which is finding the page likes. So what I do is get a doc. I'd write out all their page likes that I see. The next thing is I'm going and I use a tool called Intelligence Search. It's a free Google extension. You can actually just Google it, Intelligence Search, Google extension. It'll pop up for you, free to download, and it is a powerful tool. Now, I will say with this tool, you can use this for good and you can use this for bad. If you are watching this, use it for good. Do not break any laws. Do not use it to perv on your ex-girlfriend. Do not use it to find your ex-wife. Use it for marketing.
Oh my
Don't
God.
stalk people and don't get sued.
Listen, we want someone asked, so FB stock sounds good. Yes, but it's a healthy FB stock, not a weird FB stock. You do like, and I tell our clients this all the time in Client Kit, which is our flagship program that everybody's talking about. You have to be obsessed. We'll talk about this more. You have to be obsessed with your market. And a lot of times, the majority of the time, I'd say people fail in their advertising is because they're not obsessed with who their market is, what their market loves, what their market hates, their dislikes, their likes, all of their leanings. And when you are able to get in rhythm and step into the shoes of your market, then you can write what we call the mirror effect. The mirror effect is being able to write copy that your market reads and they're like, oh my God, this person, like, have they been listening to my conversations?
Yep.
It's all through these processes. You putting on your Sherlock hat, right? And you investigating, you connecting with the market. And even as you're going through and, you know, you should write this saying down because it goes along with what we're talking about. Birds of a feather flock together. So let's say if Ashton is your market, then very high chance, very high likelihood that he is connected with other people who are your market. Right? So this is, you guys want $1 million tip?
I don't see nothing. They don't want it. Oh, there we go. Yep. Yes.
It's amazing how many of our clients generate tens of thousands of dollars before they even hit the go button on their ads.
Yes.
This is part of the strategy that we're talking about, where you understand the veins of where your clients, or your prospects rather are. You connect, and then through what we're going to be talking about, like this, you know, we have what we call organic. This is something that we teach our clients in a very in-depth level. But then we have hyper organic, which obviously we're talking about today, but they blend together. So if you're at a place where you're like, man, I just don't know, like advertising seems so overwhelming, right? You can start the same processes via organic. And what I mean by organic is no, not SEO, but it's actually the same strategies on your personal Facebook wall. We've had people do 6 figures a month just from our organic strategies, guys.
Yep.
Part of that is your investigative ability and be able to connect with the right people. You get into the veins, you say, okay, Ashton's my guy. He's my perfect prospect. You know, I've identified who my avatar is, who I want to serve, who I want to work with. You go and connect with all the other Ashtons out there. You start demonstrating the things that we're going to talk about today as far as your authority and trust. And it can completely change your business and your life. So let's jump back in.
Boom. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys, several of you might have been watching this little video replay here. I'm going to show you guys how incredible this tool actually is. Now, remember, everything that you're doing, you're looking for the what? Echo. You're looking for the echo. So you're looking for things in multiple different research areas and verticals that you're doing, whether it's looking at page likes, using intelligence research. Next is using Google. You're looking for repeated signals of an area or direction to head in. So using intelligence search is really, really incredible. So if you're on your page, I have the extension installed right here. You can literally go into and you can go search for people, pages, groups. Groups is a big one because that tells you a lot. What kind of communities are they wanting to be a part of? That's huge for me. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to search, you know, Ashton is my perfect prospect. I want to see what groups this person's joining. Just hit search and it's pulling up a list of all the groups he's a part of. So this is really incredible because not only will it tell you what kind of groups do they want to join in, but now it's telling you where, what communities do I find like-minded prospects of my perfect prospect. So you see ClickFunnels. We see that 3 times already, page likes, groups. And then now we see wholesale watches. Okay, so he's into higher end watches, cigars. Okay, so he's looking to be more of a classy. Then you're seeing Facebook ad hacks, church sound. Interesting. Okay, so we're seeing some religious, we're seeing some tactical areas, then we see some lifestyle, and those are the three areas that I'm really kind of looking for. What do they do as a practitioner? You know, what are they a practitioner of? What kind of lifestyle do they want? And then I want a personal side effect. So I'm looking for, you know, what are they political? What kind of political views do they have? How political are they? Are they religious? How religious? And this again isn't to bully your prospect. This isn't to have an upper hand on them. This is to better understand the way that they think, right? So that you can format better copy that goes towards what they want, what they desire, and how they actually think. So I can search through here, find out which groups they're a part of. I can go back. I can actually go into, let's say, posts. You know, what posts are they liking by my perfect prospect? So I'm going to search, you know, my name, search, you know, what kind of posts are they engaging with? If you know what kind of posts they're engaging with, then you know like how to format your ad, what kind, like how to do your ad in a way that they engage with it, in a way that connects with them, enough for them to click. And so you just have endless resources here that you could be going through and understanding. It also is a great way of understanding what influencers they look at the most, right? So Depeche, he's a high-end media buyer. So you instantly know that is an influencer I actively engage with and look at and gravitate towards. You know, Taylor is another one, you know, the co-founder of Traffic and Funnel Suite. He's an influencer that I'm actively going after. So if you find their biggest influencers, all you have to do, let's just open up the page and let me go to his profile and see what kind of content he's creating. What kind of content is he doing to connect with his users? Because obviously it's good enough for me, your perfect prospect, to connect with and want to keep connecting with. This is so much money right here. I've never seen any other ads course talk about research on this kind of level. And it's just content ideas and ad creation ideas for days. So now you see stuff like this, interviews. So maybe it's something you want to create content where it's an interview style and it looks like it's on e-com. You know, endless resources and research there. So now you've done that.
Can I pop in real quick? So
100%.
How valuable is this to you guys? Are you getting how valuable this is? David said incredible. What else? And for everybody who's watching the video after this, yeah, amazing. Wow. Uber trick. Listen, guys, these are keys that we're handing you. Outstanding, seriously, huge, epic, pretty awesome. I want to cement part of the process of why I'm asking this, because I want to cement this. You have to mark this down and actually implement, right? The thing that's going to separate you from the people who are actually going to make the money is action. So we cement that this is valuable, take note, and see the whole part of this, the whole part of advertising, the whole purpose, the whole reason is for you to be able to build an audience. Mm-hmm. Right now, what we're doing is we're taking you through structure to building an audience, gathering information, gathering intelligence, right?
Yep.
Do you understand how important that is? Now, this is kind of micro. We're not at scale yet. Scale comes with the advertising. Advertising gives you the ability to go to thousands of people tomorrow. Where this, we're doing some of the pre-work and we have the ability to start experimenting. So if you're not like Chris Evans or Ashton, where you're just willing to drop $1,000 to test the messaging, guess what? Now you can identify where your pools of prospects are, so you can start gathering the audience.
Yep.
Okay.
And for you guys who are looking for the extension, I will drop the link to that extension at the end of the training. I promise. I won't give it to you now because I want you to stay focused, because believe it or not, this is not the most valuable tip I have for you today. So I'm going to keep going, but I will give you guys the link right at the end of the training, and then just remind me at the end just in case. But I'm going to keep plugging along. Chris, you ready?
Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
Awesome, guys. So step 3. Now, keep in mind, again, you are categorizing and cataloging all the insights you're getting to this point. So you should have a doc filled with their page likes. And now you should have a doc filled with information that you've gathered from intelligent search. So maybe links to the top posts that you think that they're attracted to. You know, if you see that engage, like the posts that they engage with have a ton of other engagement, chances are that's a great post to model. Obviously, don't steal, don't be a thief, but it's a great post to model. And so take that link and put it down in a doc. So next step is now Googling it. Seems simple, but I see very few media buyers actually just Googling it. So get yourself a list of top terms. So let's say, for example, you're going for entrepreneurs. You want to basically type into Google, best author for entrepreneurs, best book for entrepreneurs, best podcast for entrepreneurs, top article, top blog for entrepreneurs. You want to get a very simple list. And really what you want to do is model it the exact way that you think your prospect would type it into Google, right? This gets on the idea of like long tail versus short tail search terms. Most people are doing short tail on their phone. If they're texting, they're lazy. They're not typing it very detailed. So you'd want to be looking at like best podcast entrepreneurship, stuff like that. You want to get creative and look at the different results that pop up, but you want to type it in the way that you think your market's going to search it. So you want to Google it. And then what you want to do, and I've kind of already done this just to give you guys an example, is what you want to do is jump into, you want to categorize what you found onto the doc, right? We've already talked about that. Here's the echo targeting, Google it. You know, look, I searched best books for entrepreneurs. Those 4 books popped up. And then the best blogs for entrepreneurs, these blogs all popped up. And then what you should have is also your doc that has the page likes and the groups that they've joined. I've highlighted a couple on this page because they stuck out to me in a big way. So here you have page likes. You know, you have James Altucher, which is Agora, Todd Brown, which is Agora, Money Morning, which is Agora, Tim Ferriss, interesting influencer, digital marketer, which is very closely related to Agora. So we start to see that he's very closely related to Agora, starts following Agora quite a bit. Then you have Russell Brunson, which is ClickFunnels, which we've seen that quite a bit. And then you see something interesting called Jillian Michaels, who is, if you don't know her, is a personal fitness coach from The Biggest Loser. Now, can anyone tell me why I think that is interesting? I find this interesting because what reason would we have for a 23-year-old married man with 1 kid to like a female personal fitness coach? The reason I think that's interesting is because it might tell me about the clients he works with. If you know advertisers, many advertisers will follow the competition to see what kind of ads they're producing. There's really no reason for a 23-year-old to be following a female personal fitness instructor, other than the fact that that might mean he works with fitness clients. That's a very key thing. If you can pull that kind of research out of someone's page likes, out of the research that you're doing, you might really know what they want more than anything else. So now what you're looking for is other things that tell you about maybe that you're right in your assumption that they work with fitness people. Because how much more powerful is an offer to me as a prospect that says, get more clients in 30 days? How much more powerful is it to, are you struggling to get more personal fitness clients? That is a way more powerful offer. So you want to look for things like that. Dave Rover was another interesting one, Hillsong Church. And then Brian Houston. These are religious influencers. So you want to write those down because it tells you more about their personality. Inside of my groups, what I found was AdLeaks Platinum, ClickFunnels, official Peloton. So we do see fitness here. Looks like he's trying to be a fitness, trying to help his fitness out. Wholesale Watch Club, see Church Sound and Media. So you're seeing more religious styled interests paired with marketing. So you know that this is someone who is religious, however, excels and is involved heavily in business and marketing. Now, if you do much research on Google about that, you can find out that there's a lot of conflict inside of that. There's a lot of psychological conflict between people who have been in a religious area or heavily involved in church, but also are in the business industry. You start to learn a lot about their psychology and the conflicts they might even have in their own head. Next, I saw this in my groups, ENTP. Who knows what that is? Who knows what ENTP is? Myers-Briggs. That's right, Adam. Myers-Briggs. Do you know how incredibly valuable it is to know someone's ENTP if that's your perfect client? You can now have a full psychological debrief on this person if you literally know how they think.
Money.
That's money. Everything. Exactly, David Rosa. You know everything about them. And how many of you have ever done this kind of research before? And by the way, it doesn't cost you a penny to learn all of this. SEO Signal Labs was interesting to me because everything was about Facebook advertising, mostly. Pretty much all of it was about Facebook advertising and ClickFunnels. There was one group called SEO Labs, which tells me two things. One, he is slightly interested in SEO. Or two, the more logical conclusion I come to is that right now, all of his stuff is on Facebook advertising, and he's looking to start learning about SEO, which is a different marketing tactic and strategy. So now you know he's someone who is focused on marketing, is interested and heavily involved in the church world, and he's also wants to learn more about SEO, which means he's constantly thinking for the future and might be worried about Facebook advertising crashing. What if what he's currently doing is crashing? So he's slowly starting to branch out and learn other tactics. All of this is incredible, incredible information into your prospect that now you can have an avatar map or a light version of it. Inside a Client Kit, Chris and Taylor and the team actually go even deeper than this and help you fill out the avatar map, which this is just a very light version of it, but they go into much more depth. But here's kind of the summation of what I've found. Tim Ferriss and 4-Hour Work Week were found 3 times inside of my searches. Found in blog articles, found in the top books for entrepreneurs, and found in his page likes. So those are 3 areas that I know, wow, okay, so Tim Ferriss and 4-Hour Work Week is a very, very good targeting research or target to go for. Next, Agora Financial and Agora Partners. He likes several of those. He was in several groups. We also know he is a part of church and religious related interests. And then digital marketing and advertising, ClickFunnels, digital marketer, etc. How many people would you research? I research 5 at the top. If I know that they are my perfect client or my perfect prospect, I'm researching 5, and then I'm comparing notes. Of course, more the merrier, but to me, 5 is a pretty good indicator if you're confident they are your perfect prospect. And then another important part of this is whenever you're creating your avatar map, have a picture of that prospect. Tie it to the emotion. Tie it to that person. You want to become so in tune with this person that you know exactly what they think, exactly what they want, what's their worry, what are they embarrassed of, what hurts them the most. You want to attach that, and an image to me has helped out a lot. And then special notes. So special notes, we know their top interests, and then special notes is ENTP personality, which is huge. I have a link here even, so that would go to the ENTP personality. And then we know what they're conservative, but not very political. What I mean is not very political is I don't see any page likes for Shapiro or Donald Trump or right wing or the Gun Owners Association. I don't see a lot of that. He's not very vocal on his news feed about politics, about what's going on, about really any world news events. So I believe he's conservative, but not very political. And that's very important to understand whenever you're writing ad copy, because oftentimes politics is actually a great way to go. It's very controversial. It really pulls people out. If you know that your market is as far left or as far right as can be, that is a very valuable tool to understand and know how they think. If they're far right, far left, that's really, really powerful stuff. We know that he's a learner, so he has several book quotes on the profile. And oftentimes his posts that he's writing are very philosophical. They're not matter of fact. They're not black and white. They're oftentimes vague and deep in philosophy. So we know he's a philosophical learner. And then he likely works with other marketers. So he likes the Agora partners that most people don't even really know the names of, like Make Money Morning. He knows those names, and he has a lot of other top influencers in his friends list. So not just in his likes, but he's friends with them. So are you looking at their top friends? And then he has fitness coaches, Julian Smith, and then he's also in e-commerce groups, which tells me he's worked with fitness clients, and he's also worked with e-commerce groups clients. So those tell you valuable stuff. All right. Do we need a pause here? Anyone got anything? Chris, do you have anything to say before we keep going?
One thing that's important through this process, I'm going to give you two things. One, questions are very, very important, because you can have all the information, but unless you are asking yourselves questions like, who is this person? What do they want? What's the message that I think would relate to them, connect with them, right? That's the kind of the bridge to you actually going to market. Guys, I'm just going to keep hitting this home. Going to market, taking action, putting this stuff out there, and understanding and being okay with, you put stuff to market, you put a message, a post, an ad, whatever it might be to market, and be okay with it not working. That is process, okay? That is, again, the feedback loop. So you want to put things to market. If you identify that this person loves fitness, right, then you could put a fitness angle, a slant to market to get their attention, to get them engaged, to start the conversation, and be okay with people not responding, right? This is a thing where people don't understand this. And I want to give you some clarity. I want to give you some insight from millions of dollars into revenue, millions of dollars into ad spend, and more case studies than I can even keep a hold of, okay? Really, really important is you're not just going to jump into the gym, no pun intended, and start benching 500 pounds, okay? You're not just going to go from 0 to 100 miles an hour in your marketing, in your advertising. You've got to put the first post out. You've got to put the first ad out. You've got to dip your toes in the water and just start inching in. And that's how you start to build up your muscle, is through that resistance training. And this is one of the big things that our clients in Client Kit, they come in, they think, right off the bat that everything's just going to work out. No, that's not the case. But the thing is, people have just been on the sidelines. They've been on the beach. They've not been willing to jump into the water or start, edging into the water. And this is the big key. Just start moving slowly into the water, testing things, testing these ideas that you have. And that's how you build the muscle, and you understand what the market is going to respond to or not. And this is how we've been able to build up to pretty much having a very good idea of what copy will work, what's not, right? What the market's really going to respond to and what they're not.
Yep.
Because we're always just going back and we're lifting.
Yep. Great. So Idris said, what if you start with the wrong avatar, as in you start looking for the wrong people? You think the avatar is a certain person, but you get it wrong. Here is a money tip. You guys are listening, write this down. If I do not know my perfect prospect, who is my perfect competitor? Say that again. If I do not know my perfect prospect, who is my perfect competitor? If you can do that and you begin to understand who is my top competitors, who is my perfect competitor, go to their Facebook page. Who is engaging with their posts? Who has written 5-star reviews? Go to Google. Who has written 5-star reviews? Go to LinkedIn. Who has talked to them or mentioned them on Twitter, on Facebook? You can find your top competitors, but then you can find their top engagers, and their top engagers are most likely their best customers or prospects. And once you can find that, then you start reaching them. If it adds up to you and it goes, yep, that looks like it is my perfect prospect, you've just found your perfect prospect.
Yep.
Huge.
All right, dude. Let's turn up the burners a little bit. We have a lot more to cover.
We do. Okay, I'm gonna keep going, guys, and we'll save questions for the end. We will get to them. I do just have a lot of content for you guys, so I'm gonna keep going. Awesome. Next, 3 questions every advertiser must ask. 1, what is the deeply seated passion or desire that opened up my market in the first place? So you should know this. What is the product? What is the deep need that they actually have that has allowed me to even market to them? Why do I even market to them? There must be a reason or desire that you are fulfilling if you are marketing to them. Number 2, how much does my avatar know and understand about the solutions of my product or service? Basically asking, what is their awareness? How aware are they of the problem that exists and the solution that I provide? Number 3, how many competitors exist that have positioned itself in front of my prospect already? This is sophistication. So how sophisticated is my market? How much competition, how much blood is in the water? So how creative do I have to get? So we're going to dive into this. And the next couple slides are from the famous Eugene Schwartz, legendary marketer, who actually, this is actually, if you want a greater insight to this, get his book called Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. It's pretty hard to get, but it is by far worth it. It's expensive. I think they're around $400, but it is worth every penny if you get it and understand it. So 1, there are 5 states of awareness. 1, your prospect is completely unaware. They have no idea of the problem that they even have or the solution. Number 2, prospect is problem aware. They understand of the problem, but they don't know of a solution. Number 3, prospect is solution aware. So they understand that there are solutions. There's probably other people out there that are advertising. They know what they need, and you're just competing to get that click or that conversion. Number 4, prospect is product aware. They understand they're aware of your product. They're aware of other products that are exactly like it. And then number 5, product is most aware. They understand exactly what's wrong, exactly what they need. Can you put the name of the author, Eugene Schwartz, right here? So the next step, after we figured out their awareness, you can write down what is their awareness of your prospect. Next thing is sophistication. Sophistication, Eugene Schwartz guide to the 5 states of awareness and sophistication. Next, these are the 5 stages of sophistication right here. 5 stages of sophistication. First one, stage 1 is brand new. It's a brand new market. You're the first. You're the first one to introduce the product or service that you have. Stage 2, new product. You're second and third. There's very few others out there, so it's still basically a blue ocean for you. Not much competition. Stage 3, market has heard all the claims. Market has heard all the claims. This means that they've heard what the other advertisers, the other companies are offering. They've heard about the other Facebook ad courses. Stage 4, from promises to mechanism. What this means is the market no longer responds to the claims that you have. They no longer respond to how to make $100K a month. They no longer respond to how to get 10 clients in 30 days. Now you move to stage 4, which is moving from just the promise, but adding the mechanism. What does that mean? How to get X without X. How to get 100 clients in 2 days without spending $1. Mechanism. That's mechanism. Without doing this, what is the unique characteristic of that product that makes it stand among everyone else? Stage 5, this is one that is very, very, very hard. Reviving a dead product. The market doesn't even want to hear about your product. They don't want to hear about your service. They don't want to hear about your claims. So now you have to attack a different pain altogether. For example, let's say yoga pants. Yoga pants goes from no one wants to hear about it anymore. There's a million different yoga pants out there, right? So now you're reviving a dead product, and you're going from what its old utility was, which was comfortability, flexibility, ease of use, great for working out. They've heard all the claims. They don't want it about it anymore. So you change your marketing desire altogether. What's the next marketing desire. And most companies will always go to this. Does anyone know? This is probably one of the best ways to transfer into to open a dead product or dead market. Sex. I'm serious. Sex.
Say that again.
Sex is what will always revive a new product. If you change your yoga pants, now you're no longer talking about the flexibility, the comfortability, or its ease of use, or its ability to work out at the gym. Now you're transferring it to men can't keep their eyes off you. You're reviving a dead product and making a new claim, and you're transferring your focus altogether to a new desire. No longer it's a desire to be comfortable while working out. Now it's a desire to be wanted. That is stage 5. That is the example of stage 5.
Hey guys, I just want to put a note on here. Like, this is very intense, deep knowledge. And so I do recommend that you go back probably 4 or 5 times and just soak this in. Definitely recommend you go and get Gene's book. He's since passed away, but it is my favorite marketing book of all time. Mm-hmm. And if you grasp this stuff, you will be a killer in advertising.
Yep. 100%.
Like, this is how we are developing copy to different parts of the market that's working very, very quickly, which means we're able to scale up quickly. Okay. Yep. So this is intense. It's pretty advanced level. The book is Breakthrough Advertising. I think we have a link that we can give to at the end, and we can put it in the members area too, because I know the guy who has the rights to the book, and he's printing them now. And so I think we can. I'll find it during this and see if I can get the link on where you can get it for less than what it's selling on Amazon, which I've seen up to like $4,000.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, as you said, like, guys, this is advanced stuff. So please go back, listen to it, consume it, write out your thoughts. If you can master this, is far above any kind of Joe Schmo's 997 Facebook ads course. So please rewatch this. It's important that you do. You have probably your missed stuff, and if you rewatch, you'll hear new stuff again. So
yes, we're going to give you guys this recording and the slides. Okay, they're going to be in the members area in the next several days, so don't worry about that.
Yep. All right, next, guys. So how you now have an immense understanding of your market. You probably know your market than 99% of your competitors out there. So now, how do you take your research and understanding and apply it to advertising copy? So now what we're going to break down is some of the best ads of all time. 2 of ours, I'm actually going to give you 3, but 2 immediately of our top performing ads. We're going to break it down, and then I'm going to give you the ultimate ad copy formula, the actual formula you need to create a high converting ad. So diving in, boom, ads that change the game. And this is where Chris and I kind of nerd out. Awesome. So let's start, with the Rolls-Royce ad. This is a legendary ad that talks about the Rolls-Royce. And Chris, you want to wrap on it a little bit?
Well, I love it because it's so simple and it's so sophisticated. The headline, at 60 miles an hour, the loudest noise in the new Rolls-Royce comes from the electric clock.
Yep.
Golly, man, it's just like butter.
Yep.
Especially back then, if you think about cars were very, very loud, very disturbing, and to just think that you can cruise down the road in something as elegant and, as a machine as this, that was a big thing back there. And so David Ogilvy, who was the writer of this ad, that's something that he knew, and nobody was talking about that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Right. And so just to be able to identify that's a pain that the market has, and talk about how the market who back then of this vehicle obviously was the affluent.
Yep. Right.
And to be able to have a vehicle that has that kind of quality would put them, so that's just like deep psychology kind of stuff, above everybody else. in regards to their friends, their circles, right? Because they have a car that you can hear the electric clock inside. Like, it's so quiet, it's so pristine, it's so beautiful, right?
Yep. Yep.
What does that give them? Bragging rights.
Mm-hmm.
So this is very, very deep psychology stuff.
Huge. So
Yep.
going into this, I'll ask you guys, what state of awareness do you think this is going after? Either prospect's completely unaware, prospect is problem aware, prospect is solution aware, prospect is product aware, or prospect is most aware. I would say that this is problem aware. Exactly. Yep, Heidi. Problem aware. Cars back then were extremely loud, extremely uncomfortable. So Rolls-Royce understands that and comes in, and one, they're not afraid of price because that's their market. They're talking about the problem aware. At 60 miles an hour, the loudest noise on the new Rolls-Royce comes from the electric clock. How much noise does an electric clock make? None. They're saying it's silent. And then the subheadline, which is great, what makes a Rolls-Royce best car in the world? They're attacking an objection. There's really no magic about it. It's merely patient attention to detail. They're basically handling an objection right there, saying that, no, it's not magic. No, there's no special trick that we're trying to pull over you. It's just we are more paying attention to detail than any other car maker out there. Huge.
Hey, can I pause this real quick?
Yep.
I think this is important because what you guys probably don't understand, right, is how important it is for you to study advertising that has worked in the past and that is currently working.
Mm-hmm.
I study advertising every single day.
Yep.
And I own a multi-million-dollar company.
Yep.
Right. Ashton studies advertising every day. I read, like, I'm very habitual about reading, and not in my industry. Yes, in my industry, but mostly in other industries. I have to look, and that gives me the ability to kind of zoom out. It gives me the ability to not be just a linear thinker.
Yep.
Right. But to become a dynamic thinker, and it stirs the creative juices. So if you guys aren't doing this, if you don't have a file of advertising that's working, and if you're not looking at it every day to spark your innovation and your ideas about what you can put to market in your own words, then you're missing out. And this is a big, big tip. And the best people in the world, the best marketers, advertisers, copywriters in the world religiously study advertising every single day. Okay.
Yep.
So make sure you guys add this to your list, and it will put you ahead.
Yep. Next, we'll move on. This one I really, really love because it came at a crucial time in marketing. It actually goes through this inside of Eugene Schwartz's book, but it talks about the tobacco industry. The tobacco industry, regardless of your feelings about it, hosted some of the best advertisers in the world that we've ever seen and ever will know of. Because it was an extremely, extremely competitive market. They not only battled other advertisers, other brands, they battled the U.S. government and regulations and the FDA. So I love looking at tobacco advertisements because they had to get more creative than most advertisers have to.
Yep.
And looking at this ad, it's what's up front that counts. Winston tastes good. At the time, the market was at a stage 3. They've heard all the claims. Every tobacco industry was advertising the same thing. And then the Health and Drug Administration came out, we were starting to understand that tobacco was not good for people, it was not healthy, it was causing cancer. And so all the tobacco companies started advertising the filters, the little filters they have, the brown part of the cigarette, talking about how it's safer. Right. And so that started happening. And then the market got tired of hearing everyone talking about the filters. And this company came out with this advertisement that talks about it's what's up front that counts. That they were okay with the filter that was smaller. It might be less safe, but we don't care anyway. We love smoking. That was huge. Was the transfer of people started to smoke because they love to smoke. And that was it. And so this advertisement really attacks the mechanism, which is stage 4 from promise to mechanism. They're talking about the filter. It's what's up front that counts. And it's a really, really good advertisement. David Rosa, wasn't that on Mad Men as well? Mad Men was actually about advertising agencies back in this time. So it's actually kind of based off real events. Chris, you got anything to say about this ad?
No, I think we just go ahead and blow through these and jump to
Beautiful.
the next with that.
Beautiful. Real quick, I just wanted to show you the last one because it's a stage 5 mechanism. They've gone from advertising about the tobacco, about the cigarette itself, and they've added sex appeal to it. Sex, blow some my way. That's it. That's all. And this was a very, very successful ad because they went from attacking the tobacco, which everyone's done, and now they've applied a sex appeal to it, and they made that ad, which is really, really successful and good.
Yep.
Next.
So here's a problem, that they had with, this is VW Bug. You guys have all seen these. The headline Lemon.
Yep.
Right, you go back and look at the era where Americans, they loved curves. They loved these big curvy cars, right? That was status symbol back then. The other issue that they had was that this car had the hand of Hitler on it. Right. So those were like kind of two big issues. And so they just came out and said it. And America obviously fell in love with this car.
Yep.
Right. And this is one thing that we have done really well in our marketing with traffic and funnels is we've been very authentic. Like we push so fast, we push so hard that, we don't always have everything put together because we go. And we just call it out like it is. We hashtag smartest guys in marketing. Right. We're just very open and authentic about our business and about the things that we're doing and people relate to that.
Yep.
Right. So VW, they're not hiding anything. They're saying what it is.
Yep.
This next ad, I love this. This is written by John Carlton. Amazing secret discovered by one-legged golfer adds 50 yards to your drives, eliminates hooks and slices, and can slash up to 10 strokes from your game almost overnight. So if you have dared to play golf or swing a golf club, that this is insane. How in the world could a one-legged golfer accomplish this, right? What is that? That's curiosity. Yep. Curiosity is extremely powerful, right? Have you ever watched the show 24?
Oh yeah, Jack Bauer. Let's go.
Remember the show Lost? Like these people had it dialed in. You have to study these and be aware too as your things that pull you in. You have to ask yourself, good grief, like what can I do to implement that kind of strategy for my marketing?
Yep.
Curiosity is a powerful driver to get engagement and response from your market. So, for example, could be, if you were in the fitness world and, your market, they are counting calories and they hate it and, they'd rather not ever do that again. Something you could write as a post is how to eat as much junk food as you want, never count a calorie again, and lose up to 20 pounds a month. Guys, I'm putting together a free video on exactly how I've had 50 clients do this exact same thing. Do you want it?
Yep.
Just put a yes in the comments and I'll send it to you.
Huge.
People are like, hell yeah, how do I do that? I want to eat as many cheeseburgers with bacon on them as I possibly can. God, if I ever have to count another calorie again, I might start smoking because it's so stressful.
Right. That's right. And that's a good segue into our next ads is talking about joking with that. So now we're going to actually break down some of our best ads that we've done.
Yes. The goodies.
These ads that we show you have literally produced millions of dollars.
True.
They have been tried and true and tested. What we've noticed that we still use variations of this copy in these ads today, and they still convert like clockwork. It's because we've mastered the formula here. And reading this ad, it gives a bunch of bullets, which is number one, tells a story. And not only it tells a story that people can connect with, the entrepreneurs. Oh, someone even said this was the ad that got me into TNF. That's nice. Right. Because it tells a story that most entrepreneurs can connect with. And again, your idea is not most entrepreneurs, but my perfect prospect. What can my perfect prospect have? So number 2, emotion, emotion, emotion. It has to grab emotion. Number 3, creative grabs and demands attention. This ad, the creative, you can see the guy with the beer belly having a beer, sitting on the couch. It's
Is that
humorous.
your dad?
Yes, dude. I grabbed a picture of my dad. He was actually very grateful. I just had to pay for that beer,
Yeah.
and we're good to go. But the creative grabs attention. It's out of the ordinary. However, it kind of conveys an emotional connection. We all kind of know what it's like to just kind of sit on the couch by ourselves and just, at least I have, just kind of sit there awkwardly and go, well, this is what I got. This is my life. I sit there. Connects to the sophistication. So it connects to the sophistication because it talks about the disclaimers at the bottom. No, this webinar is not live. It's fancy and automated. Shocker. It connects that most people have gone through it where they've tried to get, they've tried to go on webinars. They thought they were live, but they found out they're actually fake. It connects to the sophistication of their market, especially with the bullets that you read. And then 5, connects with the state of awareness to the solution. They don't know what the solution is, but we talk about all the solutions that they've tried, right? So they're very problem aware, but they're not solution aware. And then we actually introduce a mechanism. We talk about using one ridiculously simple funnel. So we're almost stage 4 right now in sophistication. You can see down towards the bottom, one of the last paragraphs, it says, now watch this webinar instead and have all your wildest dreams come true. We'll teach you how our clients are growing their business using a paid traffic, and here's a mechanism, one ridiculously simple funnel. So it separates us from the competition. And that's that ad. Chris, you want to break down this one?
Well, I just want to that ad is really interesting. Like, guys, what we're hopefully opening your eyes to is the importance of knowing your market. Taylor and I would never have been able to write this ad if we didn't really know our market, know the pains, know what they have walked through. And how does that come? That comes by connecting with the market. You identify the market, you connect with the market. Connect with the market, you ask them questions, you get on the phone with them. And this is how we're able to write copy that sells. And people are like, this is the mirror effect.
Yep.
Right? Mary just said, this was the ad that got me into TF.
Yep.
Because she's like, oh my God, that is me. You know what I mean? That's what you want for your advertising.
Exactly.
Cool.
All right. Next one's my baby. Chris,
break it down, dude, because you wrote this one, didn't you?
I did write this one. So
you break this down.
All right, man. I'm proud of this one, guys. Again, 1, it tells a story. 2, emotion, creative grad. It's the same points that we're looking to hit in every ad. However, a big thing that I wanted to do with this advertisement was handle objections up front, right? So what is one of the biggest objections for us is people that are scared of like, oh, this is a make money overnight scheme. This is a scam. And so what I'd said was, instead of just talking about successes, what if we had an ad that talked about the struggle it took for us to get the success? Mm-hmm. It overcomes and destroys that objection right up front, because we talk about how it's not easy. We talk about how, they had to miss out on fun stuff. Must be nice. That's what we hear all the time. It's connecting with someone in their state of sophistication that they've heard over and over again. Must be nice from their friends, their relatives, whenever they're successful now. The creative ties in the success to the copy's objective, which is really like, I started here, but now I'm here. And the image kind of conveys desire. This is what they want. And then we talk about the new way to attract and enroll high-ticket clients. We have the same kind of sophistication, introducing a mechanism, saying one ridiculously simple funnel. And 2-step funnel is actually, I believe, what we talk about here. And so, this ad just breaks down the example of overcoming the objection extremely quickly, addressing their state of awareness, connects to their sophistication level, and gets emotion. It's a very emotional ad. So that's this guy. Boom. Next one, advertising copy formula. You guys want the copy formula that we actually use to create advertisements that we just went over. If you want them, just let us know. This is the formula to unlocking advertisements that scale. Not ads that scale just for a week and then you got to create a new one, but ads like we've made that have lasted literally 2-3 years and are still incredibly high converting ads. Awesome. Here it is. Here it is. Again, you guys will get the notes to this training, and you will get the replay. So if you don't have time to write this down, not a huge deal. But here's the formula for copy on an ad. Your click equals when the pain plus time plus resources times energy squared is less than the scarcity plus curiosity times desire that you create. Why is energy squared? It's because anytime someone sees an ad and if someone is asking them to take action, they are going to double in their heads the energy that it's actually going to take to convert. When someone sees your ad and it's super simple, you've created desire, you've created curiosity, but if they think that it's going to take an immense amount of work, like using the words transformation, which kind of implies a lot of work, unless you imply a mechanism like instant or in 30 days or something like that, they're going to double it. So this is the equation you want to do. So you need to make sure your scarcity and your curiosity are there. You need to make sure they're there. And then times desire. You need to make sure that you are attacking their innermost desire. And it's going to be the conjunction of those two, the multiplication of those two. If they outweigh the pain someone has, the time they think it's going to that's going to take them, and the resources that they think, and the energy they think it's going to take to get that result, then you'll get the click and you'll get the conversion ultimately. So on the right side, I've kind of listed out what an ad would look like. The top line, we typically want it to be controversy or conflict. Example, not so sexy truth of being a highly paid expert. Controversy. Make fancy website, borrow, it's the bullets, right? So those are conflict. Conflict, it's attacking people's conflicts that they've gone through. And then it's diving straight into pain. So pain and pain. I want to double up on the pain. I want to make it so painful for them. Now all they're looking for is begging me for a solution. I'm going to talk about a breakthrough right after that. Talk about one simple switch, these 3 steps, right? And then you want to bring the solution. So breakthrough, their breakthrough moment from pain, they're starting on their way to heaven. You know, copywriters talk about bringing someone from their hell to heaven. So this is the transition, and solution is heaven. And then talk about the benefits of that solution. Now that you've found the key, now that you have these 5 steps, what can they expect? And then you want to give another pleasure, maybe at a different angle, right? You kind of want to always have multiple angles of pain, multiple angles of solutions, multiple angle of pleasure. And then you want to finally give the call to action. It's a story, it's a journey, right? And then pattern interrupt for the image. The creative needs to be a pattern interrupt to help get them to stop scrolling. That's really the only goal. The headline is benefit-driven headline. That's what Chris has driven hard into our marketing team. Benefit-driven headlines, right? If they don't see a headline and they don't see how it applies to them or helps them, they ain't converting. Typically, on someone's scrolling, it's important to understand how someone's going to see your ad. If they're scrolling on Facebook on their phone, they're scrolling extremely fast. So typically what you see is they will see your pattern interrupt image, right? Unless you don't have a pattern interrupt, or else they're not stopping. Then they're going to read your headline. Their headline tells them what's in it for them if they actually read this. And that's really the only goal of the headline, is to get them to read this. And then this is to get them to click. That's the only goal of an ad. Get them to click. And that's typically where you want to do the curiosity. The CTA does not mean buy now. Nope. CTA means click. Click here. Find out more here. I'll tell you the secret here. They need to have curiosity right here to go to your landing page. That's the goal of an advertisement. The advertisement's goal is not to sell, on Facebook anyway. It's not to sell. It's get them to click. Next, I'm breaking this down for you on one of our ads that we did. This is a very, very simple ad. Very simple. It actually converts extremely, extremely well. Let me go back. Breaking down this ad, curiosity right at the top. Some of y'all are doing this the hard way. It's mix of curiosity and controversy, hitting pain right after that, blending in, being a wallflower, trying to reverse engineer our success based on what they say in our live videos and stuff. Now remember, this is a retargeting ad, right? So this is going to be a little bit different than how you'd approach a cold market. This is a retargeting ad for people who've engaged with our content in the past, but they have not purchased. And so, right, I'm going after pain. What are they doing with us? Like many of you, you might just be studying us extremely hard, trying to figure out what we're doing. Then I'm going to hit desire, right? I want to bring them from pain to heaven, from hell to heaven. Then I want to hit desire. We're practically giving away the secrets, tips, experience, results, learning curve items, processes, wins, losses for $7 a month. Energy plus resources. Now, if you also see inside of the desire, we introduce a mechanism. $7 a month. Next, I want to hit energy and resources. How hard is it going to be for them to get what they want, to get our secrets, to get our tips? Delivered to your mailbox. You don't even have to do it. It's not hard work. We do the work. It's like newspaper, but actually useful. It's resource. Then I hit desire again. It's like having a spy in our boardroom. Get the memos already. Click the link. CTA right there. CTA right there. And then headline creates curiosity and FOMO. FOMO and curiosity are a powerful, powerful combination. If you can ever get those two together, do it every single time. What over 3,518 subscribers have deemed the Advertiser's Bible. This is a reference to our memos, which you guys, if you guys are watching this advertising, are subscribers, which is pretty awesome. And if you guys aren't actually taking the time to dive into those each and every month, definitely do it, because actually Chris does break down our ads in future ads. He breaks them down inside of the monthly memos. The last one was back in December, and he actually, or was it December? Is that right? Yeah, December. And he broke down 2 of our best ads and did even a deeper dive. So make sure you guys are reading those. That is the ad copy formula. Memorize it, write it down, and any time that you are creating an ad and you look at it and it does not have that equation inside of it, then you got to rewrite it. Anything to say on this before I move on, Chris?
No, sir. It was December, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it was December. Campaign map flows, which actually, by the way, guys, if you don't have December, you join the memos after December and you want to take a look at that memo, all you have to do is get the back orders. Right now it's less than $100 and you get all of our previous issues and a year subscription of future memos. Pretty intense. All right, campaign flows, guys. I'm going to be dropping the links to these campaign flows for you. These are templates that I have built for you to help you launch and test and scale advertisements, right? So this is, I'm going to drop the link here. Let me drop the link in the chat. Google Drive link. Boom, boom. There you guys go. And this will also be in your members area, so no worries if you don't get the link, you don't see it. This will be in the members area, so no worries here. But this, basically, I'll just quickly go over it. In the beginning, right in the beginning here, it's, let me pointer. Right here in the beginning, it shows you the ad sets that I'm testing. So I typically will test out anywhere from 5 to 10 ad sets at a time. My budget that I want on each ad set. Now, of course, when CBO kicks in here in September 2018, this will no longer apply. But right now, my budget is 5 times the CPA in the beginning. So if my CPA is $10 a lead, then my budget is $50 per ad set. Now, when CBO kicks off, my budget will be how many ad sets do I have times the CPA 5X, right? So 10 ads or 10 ad sets or 5 ad sets or whatever, you need to make sure you have 5 times the CPA so that Facebook can optimize correctly on your ad set. If you do it too low and you just have 5 ad sets with $5 a piece and $5 is your CPA, Facebook will not be able to optimize. If you've ever run, and let me know if this is true, if you've ever launched an ad campaign and it did very, very well for the first 3 to 4 days, but then it tanked, that is because Facebook was not able to get enough data to optimize for you. Typically, they need about 50 conversions a week to optimize your ad set and optimize your ad correctly. So you want to make sure you adjust budget accordingly. If you only have enough budget for $50 a day, then you should only have one ad set. So that means you just need to understand your market a lot better. All right, and then I go into basically testing. So testing, seeing what the CPA is. If so, increasing the budget. If you follow this to a T, then you will get to the area where you're really ready to scale and keep going. So this covers everything. Drop the link in the chat. It'll also be in the members area. So that's your first template. Next template is total retargeting saturation. This is a very, very advanced template here. This is basically your way to take over your market and hammer anyone who shows interest to your prospect, your product, your service. You are going to stalk them, make them say stop. And you always want to give ways out, but this is basically anytime someone engages with us, we want to come to them on 3 fronts: advertorials, which is reading, blogs, hyper organic, anything like that. Content videos, that's the next stage. We want to be able to give them video. Maybe that's the way they prefer consuming content. Some people prefer reading, so you give them both. And then you want to present new opportunities to get deeper into your funnel. So this is a new opt-in, a new training, a new webinar. You're retargeting all of these people. Anyone who's been a lead gets entered here. Anyone whose engagement gets entered here. Anyone who's been a customer gets entered here. And what you notice is everyone's getting hit with advertorials, content videos, and new opt-ins all at the same time, right? And then you want to have a different variation of the content here and a different variation of the content here. And then you want to have a way out so that anytime someone hits the goal that you want, whether that's getting a strategy session, getting a purchase, they get entered into a new group so that you can exclude them and not waste money on continuous retargeting. So I entered, let me get you guys that link in the chat. Boom, there you guys go. It'll also be in the members area, so no worries if you miss it. But this is the pseudo retargeting flow that we have here. Extremely, extremely valuable stuff. This is what's allowed us to help scale extremely quickly and efficiently, doing it well. So advertorial additional resources. We're also going to give you guys 50 ads swipe file, which is a collection of 50 highly profitable ads that we've had our team go collect and compile them into a swipe file for you. So as you're creating those new ads using the structures that we've given you, here's also a swipe file that you can look at and find other highly successful ads. Again, this will also be in the members area, so no worries if you don't have the link. Chris, are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Guys,
Yes,
this is what we've all been waiting for. I've been talking a lot. Appreciate you guys. But this strategy right here is the money. This is the money. If you are not currently making 20, 30, 40, 50K a month, even if you're doing those, if you implement this strategy here along with your paid traffic, you're on a different game. Chris, take it away.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for the people who have posted in the group. I want to see some more people post in there. I'm trying to get you guys take micro steps, micro action, simple things, because this is important. These are the fundamentals, and I talk with my team about this all the time. You can't do fundamental things. How are you going to do the big things, right? Mm-hmm. So take action, move forward, and this is part of hyper organic, right? This is part of the stuff that we're talking about today is we're giving you the things that are the keys to the kingdom that's going to unlock the doors for you. But again, it comes down to you guys actually stepping out, stepping forward, putting your feet in the water. Okay. So the whole concept behind hyper organic is to accelerate your results. A lot of people, they get into Client Kit, they figure out how to do the organic. Obviously we have such a badass team. I mean, just amazing people on the team that help dial in the messaging and stuff. As our clients go to market, they put things in market. They're not sure, what they should adjust. That's where, if you guys have the ability, you need to connect with our team. Because me and Taylor, you guys have seen how much we invest in ourselves. One of the things that I've learned in where I'm at in my business is how important it is to have the feedback loop, right? And that's not just marketing, but that's people who are ahead of where I'm at. Because time is a thing that you will never, ever get back, ever. You can always get back money, right? But you can never get back time. And so I was telling my wife this last night. I was like, we were just talking about this topic. I was like, yeah, so many people are afraid to be told they're doing something wrong or they can do it better. I pay people to tell me I'm stupid and that I should do it a better way, right? If I can get that, if I can get the source of the information, if I can get accurate information as fast as possible, that means I can accelerate my journey. And that's the idea behind this. As I've been working with clients and helping them build out webinars and writing webinars and funnels and emails and all this kind of stuff, what I saw is that it was kind of like a barrier to a lot of people. It just overwhelmed them, freaks them out. And so I thought, okay, well, people are doing organic. Like, that's not too crazy. Like, you figure out who your market is, you post on Facebook, try to get engagement. So what if we could speed up that process and dial into who the market might be before we even go into the scale aspect, right? Like webinars and VSLs and the things that take way more commitment, and actually start collecting cash quicker, right? Then our chances of success would be a lot higher. So that's part of this process. So here are two things that you really need to do to land high value clients. So number one, if you can just hit the next slide, Ashton. Number one, you have to get the attention of your market, the attention of your market. Number two, you have to get the trust of your market. Okay. What I want you to do is visualize this. Everything that you're doing, you are preparing and building a stage, right? My goal here is that, yeah, you can hit that next slide. My goal is to keep this as simple for you as possible, so you actually take action on it. That is actionable. Okay. We've given you some complex things, but overall, I want you to have the simplistic aspect, idea, concepts of this, so that you can conceptualize it for yourself and see what you need to do to actually go to market and start making more money. Is that fair? So visualize yourself. Go to the next slide there, Ashton. Essentially, this is what hyper organic is. It's taking people who are unaware. Now, when I want you to realize the opportunity that you have, okay? We live in the greatest time ever. I've studied a tremendous amount of marketing all the way back to even into the late 1800s. The thing that those guys didn't have, the Ogilvies, the Capels, the Bensavengas, the Gary Halberts, the John E. Kennedys, the Claude Hopkins, they did not have the speed, the feedback loop, the acceleration that we have today. And yet so many people sit around with gold right in front of them and they don't even know it. The ability that you have right now to go online and get your message in front of millions of people is unparalleled before any other time compared to now. You actually have access to billions of prospects right now. And yet, for whatever reason, you've been on the sideline, or you've just you've made up this monster of advertising marketing in your brain. Okay, so hyperorganic is moving people from unaware, people who don't know who you are, who don't realize that you can help them, who don't realize that you're a badass, who don't realize they can, that you have the solution for them. It's going out there, getting their attention, moving them from unaware to aware of who you are. Okay. So one, what we do, we create an ad that gets attention. We've given you some examples of that today. You can go and look at all the other people who are running ads. How are they getting the attention of their market? You do that. I'll just give you a simple framework. Okay. Again, I'm keeping this extremely simple, simplifying this for you so you actually go out and do it. Okay. One thing that sees a lot of people like, well, Chris, what do I do? Like, what's the ad say? Here is a very, very simple way. Take your top 5 frequently asked questions of your market. Okay. Top 5, and create videos. It could be a 2-minute video, 3-minute video that answers the questions that your market has. Put those on your fan page or on your wall, if you're not ready to spend money. If you already spend money, put on your fan page and put $5 behind it a day, $10 a day. And run it to based on the targeting that we've talked about today on how to identify who your market is. Okay. There's a reason why we're not jumping into the Facebook ads platform, because if you don't get these concepts, you'll never be able to make it work in the platform. Number two, it's always changing, right,
Yeah.
Ashton? Like they're changing stuff
Literally all
every
the time.
single day. So we could record something today on like, you know, how to find your targeting and how to set up a campaign and ad, and it'll be different next week. So, but if you get the principles and the concepts, the foundational things, then you'll be able to adapt to that. Okay.
Yeah, and
So,
it's go
yeah.
ahead.
No,
One
go.
thing that Chris has always talked about, and it's so true. And this is what I now know as a very experienced media buyer, is Facebook ads overall is easy. It's mechanical. Okay, you can go on YouTube and learn how to set up the campaign if that's your question. You don't need to pay for a course. But all these courses are setting people up to fail because they're teaching them, do I click this button or do I click this button to set up the ad account? You don't need to know that. If you can get a good ad in front of your ideal prospect, which is we've already showed you how to do, your ad will be successful. It is not, do I click this button or do I click this button? So it's very mechanical. That's why we're investing on what's actually important and what it will stand forever and not change next week when the algorithm changes. Back to you, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't mind that little typo there. Add that's call to action. Add that calls to action. So here's the deal, right? If you have the ability to create an ad that gets your the attention of your market, you just being you answering and providing value to your market, what's going to happen? You are going to really hit the important elements of hyperorganic. So just hit the next slide, Ashton. Number one, go back. There you go. You're getting excited there, dude. Number one, you build an audience. So we call this invisible marketing list. Taylor and I started traffic and funnels. We really didn't have much idea on how we were going to do it. So if you guys haven't heard the story, we started traffic and funnels based on this concept. Now we had an email list. Taylor had an email list of 117 people. Okay, 117 people. And what we did is he had at that point built an audience of 117 people, right? Like you're not going to break the bank and cash is just going to flush in, just flood into your account where the banker's like, what's going on? What are you guys doing? Like you selling drugs or something? No. We had a small, tiny little embarrassing list of 117 people, but we sent an email and said, hey, we're looking at helping people in their ability to get more clients way faster. And so what we did is we had no idea really what we were doing, to be honest. We didn't have an offer that was built. What we did is we took action. We got people on the phone. We say, hey, if you need help getting clients, if you're struggling right now, if you're struggling with your funnels, if you're struggling with your ads, hey, let's jump on the phone and let's talk and let's see what we can do, right? We had that little teeny weeny list of 117 people. And so you got to work with what you have. No matter how big the audience is, you start building trust, building your authority with an audience. So this is how it works. Let's say you have those 5 videos. Maybe you're a writer, you have 5 posts. Like it could just be starting out with 1. Okay. Maybe the biggest problem that your market faces, give them value based on the targeting that you figure out from this training today. You put that to market. People will start consuming that. And then you will be on number 1 here. You will be building an audience, an invisible marketing list on Facebook. So Facebook, based on the engagement, whether it's a video view or they're liking or they're commenting, will essentially accredit that to your account. You go into the Facebook platform. You can, again, look this up on actually how to set up your audiences in Facebook. But now you have this list of people who have seen your face, they've heard your voice, they've seen your brands, right? And the more and more you're in front of them, the more trust and likability, which is very crucial into getting them to a place of them actually taking action, right? You guys have all gone through this, and that's why you're on this call, because of this principle. We've built an audience, we've established trust, we've demonstrated authority. And so you can do all of this without a webinar, without a website, without, Infusionsoft, without ActiveCampaign. I want to just wipe the slate clean, wipe all that out of your minds. Just start putting value to the marketplace based on the people who consume your value, you build that audience, you're setting a stage of people, okay? And then number two, you market your offer, your services to that audience. So whether it's 117 people, whether it's 1,017 people, whether it's 10,017 people, you have to get into the game. You have to get into practice. You have to start. You have to move forward and go do. And so, I mean, how are you going to be able to handle, an audience of 50,000 people if you can't, handle and be responsible and a good steward of 100 people, right? So let's hit the next slide.
Yep.
Anything to add to that?
Yeah, man, I got one actual tactical advice tip.
Do it. Do it.
For this, why this is so powerful is because this hyper organic is perfectly customized for the beginner, for the person with a low ad budget, or a person with a big ad budget. The reason for this is, and if anyone knows the answer, just put it in the chat. What is the most expensive objective to go for on Facebook advertising? Conversions. Conversions are the most expensive objective to have for your advertisements. However, with hyper organic, you're not looking for conversions. You're looking for reach, video views, or pay per engagement, which are by far the cheapest objectives to go for on Facebook. So now what you have is you create an audience very, very cheap. I can typically get engagements for about a penny on an ad. And then what you have is not a ClickFunnels. You have Messenger. You can straight up just reach out to people if they've engaged on your ad via Messenger, and that's when you start the sales process. Extremely, extremely cheap. Chris, back to you, but that's just one tip.
Yeah, dude, that's so right, man. And what's crazy about this is we still utilize this strategy, guys. Like, yeah, we run webinars, we do all kinds of stuff, but we still do hyper organic ourselves.
Yep.
And it still works like crazy because of the principle. One, you're building an audience that is aware. They're aware of who you are. So it's, hey, this is Chris Evans. I've got an awesome tip for you guys today. Hey, this is Taylor. Hey, this is Ashton. I've got something that's going to give you a lot of value today. Check this out. Right? You just build relationship. You build trust. And go ahead and hit the next slide. You're building a pool of people who know you, like you, and trust you. So what you can do very quickly is imagine yourself. And if you go back, you look at the memo that I wrote about this whole concept. Like, this is before people were talking about intent-based branding and all this other stuff. Like, guys, we covered this like over a year ago. Same principle.
So true.
Right? I love Francis, but we covered this a long time ago. And I talked about an ad that we basically built an audience of about 17,000 people and how inexpensive it was to do that. Right? We didn't have the opt-in stuff. It was all people who engage with their content. Now, I'm very good friends and good buddies with, have you guys ever seen Purple Mattress?
Oh,
Purple Mattress, like the fastest mattress brand in the world, one of the top advertisers on YouTube. What's really interesting in my conversations with a guy who basically led their advertising just until very recently was how important it was for them to put just a little logo on their videos. And what they saw is, and the reason why I'm saying this, I'm going to tell you in just a second. What they saw is the parallel of people seeing the content and then later searching Google for it, right? So whenever you get on a video, always set your name, maybe your company name, right? Because people will get familiar with you. And if they get familiar with you, they'll start to know you, like you, and trust you. And before you know it, you will have a stage of people who are ready, they're waiting, they're willing, they're listening for you. They're waiting for you. Like, they're like, I need you. And you'll get to a point where people will pursue you because you're demonstrating trust and value. Very, very simple. Okay. Go back to the last slide real quick, Ashton. So we have ad one builds awareness. So within ad one, you could have 5 ads, right? That all build awareness. There's all kinds of crazy things you can do to get attention. You can have memes, you can have videos, you can have, just based on whatever your strength is. Ashton is incredibly good at creating memes. right, that the market loves and they think is funny. So you want to get people exposed to your brand and who you are. Ad two is running calls to action ads to the market. So you see this one right here is basically a video interviewing a client. And then we call to action, say, hey, if you want the results that this dude has, go ahead and click here and let's connect, and go right to, your Facebook Messenger. Like, you can keep it very simple. We still use these things. We still communicate on Facebook Messenger with our prospects. Okay. And that creates opportunity. And you will make money consistently in your business by creating consistent opportunity. That's what it's all about. And this will give you the ability to do that. So let me just hit 2 case studies here. Talking about this, we have a lot of case studies on hyperorganic. This is one. She spent $8,700, and actually the number's not 38, it's like 40 something thousand. Okay. This is her ad. It was so long, I couldn't actually get the whole thing on here. But very simple, right? She knows her market. Obviously, like, what is the story that image?
Oh man, it's straight out of the Notebook. I mean, come on, guys. Yeah, it's literally like, think about. It's also like, what movies is my prospect watching? It's creative.
Yes.
Dives into that. What's the dream?
Yes. So this is a real to market right now, hyperorganic ad. 80. What would I say in the beginning? If you can spend $1 in an ad and make $2 back, you never have to worry about money again. Obviously, she's doing better than that. Right?
Yep.
The next one. He spent $1,800 and collected $9,800.
Whew.
Can't
That's
be too hard with ads like that, Right? But get your stuff in the market, guys. Like, people are doing this. I just collected these 2 case studies this morning from one of our client success directors. And I want you to know, like, this is working right now. It works in any market, every market. You have to know your market. You have to be obsessed with your market. And you have to actually put things to market.
Yep.
You got to test. So build your audience with engaging content, valuable content, and then start asking them if they want help. It's not that hard.
Yep.
Anything to add to that, Ashton?
No, I think it's huge. It actually a big point that Rob D said. The image from this ad is from This Is Us, which is a TV show, which actually makes me wonder, well, then does that mean their perfect prospect, is that the show that they were watching? Was it trending at the time? Is that what their perfect prospects are watching? Because that would pull anyone out extremely quickly. But it's not hard. I think the big thing that a lot of people have when they come to hyperorganic or advertising as a whole is they overcomplicate it. Look how simple this ad is just in time for making the most of the new year, new me buying season. He's tapping into what they're saying now. What are they thinking? What is their awareness? And then he's just giving simple value, pleasure. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just do it. Most people fail, not because they, suck at advertising or don't understand how to communicate. It's just that they don't do it, period. They don't communicate with their market, and that's it.
Yep.
Boom. Last thing, I actually want to throw a curveball. Chris, are you okay with that?
Yeah. Do I have a choice?
Not really. Here's what we want. Here's what we're going to do. So many of you have posted in Smartest Guys in Marketing, which is great. And I'm going to pick the winners for those books that we're sending out. Here's what I want to do right now. I just entered the link to the group just in case you missed it. If you create a video of your thoughts on this training, you make a video, can be selfie, doesn't have to be professional, but you post a video of what you think about this training, what you learned, your biggest lesson. Then what we're going to do is in 2 weeks, actually let's make it 3 weeks. I want to give you 3 weeks to implement what we taught you. And in 3 weeks, we will be hosting a Q&A for the questions that you come up with after 3 weeks of implementation. everyone who posts a video in our Smartest Guys group letting us know what your thoughts were, then you will get an invitation from me to that Q&A in 3 weeks. Now on that Q&A, we'll answer any questions you have. I can get into the nitty-gritty of advertising. I can talk to you about scaling techniques. I can review your ads. I can review.
Damn, boy.
I will coach you. We will have an hour-and-a-half coaching session for everyone who posts a video to our Smartest Guys group, letting people know what your biggest takeaway was from this training and what you thought of it.
That's killer.
That's huge. Boom. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. Awesome, guys. I'll be picking winners by end of day, and we'll be sending those books out to you ASAP. And I will also be looking for videos. If you post a video, you will be getting a link from me to your private Q&A coaching session that's going to be taking place in 3 weeks.
Mario said, well, if you want an Italian accent testimonial video, okay, I will do it.
Yes. Yes. My wife's Italian, so I dig it. Not to get weird.
That's really weird.
All right, guys. That is all we got. Chris, any last words before we take off?
Take action, take action, take action. Don't let this moment pass you by.
True. Awesome, guys. Have a good one. Peace.